Hello, heathens. Welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, please sit in the front so that we can all judge you accordingly. If you have been here for a while, thank you. And again, welcome back. Today we are going to be talking about working with what you've got, as in literally working with the art supplies that you already own. The impetus for this video was the onset of quarantine and lockdown orders back in, what was it, mid-March, early April? At this point, people are behaving as though the pestilence has gone away, but that selfishness and idiocy is beside the point. At this rate, the selfish stubbornness of the masses is going to force us back into a longer lockdown, so the advice that I am about to give you will be applicable in the future. So, hooray, foresight. Let's travel back in time to when lockdowns began. Everything, not exclusively essential commodities, was being sold out. Both in-store and online, nothing was to be found, and restocking and shipping ground down to a halt. I myself had run out of a few art supplies that I needed, or rather, we don't really need anything, but I wanted them, and obviously I could not get a hold of them, nor did I have any clue when I would be able to get my talons on any of the stuff that I wanted. Instead of whining, complaining, bitching, and bemoaning, I dug through my supplies and pulled out what I had. Guess what? My world did not collapse. I knew it wouldn't, but I'm just poking fun at all of the ridiculous, embarrassing, panicked hoarder Karens out there who feel they need to own a little bit of everything in order to feel whole. Here's a tip: you don't. You may recall the first piece that I created using this particular color palette. I will insert a picture right here. Well, the original color palette was actually not even intended to be quite so tropical. It was going to be bright, yes, but not to this level. I had hopped online in hopes of ordering a few colors of gouache, but dun dun dun, they were all sold out or indefinitely backordered. Was I going to sit around and wait for 5, 10, 15 years for this stuff to be restocked? No. I went through my stash and I came up with this color palette with what I had. I'm actually glad that things turned out the way they did because I'm enamored with this palette. And as you can see from today's video, it is slowly turning into a little series of cutesy boopsy, obnoxiously bright little spooklets. This little lady is the second, of course. Limitations are excellent. They force me to work my creative muscle, and I am here to encourage you to do the same. I know limitations scare some people. You think, I need to have every supply under the sun in order to produce something magical. No, you don't. No, you don't. The less options, or rather the fewer options, I should say, the fewer options you have, the more creative you'll be. Because it forces you to. It forces you to think outside of the box that you live in. We live in a grotesquely consumerist culture out here in the West. Now, I am not going to poo-poo the idea that shopping is fun. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? If good vintage clothing wasn't so damn expensive, my closet would be filled with it. If someone handed me $1,000 to spend exclusively on art supplies, it would be gone in 10 minutes, easily. The key here is to spend wisely. I'm not telling people to live a minimalist lifestyle. Me, my gaudy, tacky behind is not telling anybody to live a minimalist lifestyle. No, what I am saying, once again, is to spend on what you will actually use and really truly enjoy. I would not spend $100 on 20 sets of cheap watercolors. I would instead spend a healthy chunk of that $100 on a decent set and then a few bucks on a crappy sketching set that I can toss in my bag and not really worry about. Get it? If what you can afford is only that $10 set of watercolors, fine. Purchase that $10 watercolor set and work the absolute hell out of it without pining for something fancy. Don't beat yourself up because all you have is that $10 set. Do not allow yourself to feel less than anyone else who happens to have a fancy professional set. Take it from me, I started watercoloring with the ubiquitous Prang watercolor set, and I still own and occasionally use that thing. It's a beast. Yes, I still use it. Do I own better watercolors? Yes, I have a few. Now, did I throw my crappy, quote unquote, crappy set away when I got my talons on something better? Absolutely not. I don't waste supplies. That's ridiculous. The quality of your supplies does not make you a better artist. Your current skill level does not determine your fate. The dedication that you have to learning, that will determine your fate and ultimately your skill. Magic can be coaxed from mediocrity. Period. I don't care what any of the snobs say. Don't listen to the snobs. We don't allow art snobbery in my sandbox. But that is a tangent for another day. I've discussed that topic at length in the past, and I'm sure I will continue to preach about it forever. I will forever preach the gospel of anti-snobbishness until I die. But today is not going to be one of those days. What I am telling you to do is to refrain from buying supplies and to use what you have available. Overbuying will result in art supply hoarding, and this hoarding will inevitably lead to option fatigue. What is option fatigue? It's the anxiety and that exasperation that you feel when you have too many options at your disposal. Having 2 or 3 sets of colored pencils from different brands is great. Different colors, different finishes, and different results on different papers. Options are great. But what happens when you own 30 sets, 60 sets, 70 sets? Honey, that is a lot of money, shelf space, and time wasted just testing and swatching. Now, if someone is a colored pencil collector and they have a nice system of organization and they use them for display purposes and decor, fine, I get it. That's an entirely different realm of discussion and thinking. There is a difference between collector mentality and the manic, drooling beast that is the, oh my God, everyone on social media is using this particular brand. I already own 6 products that are similar, but it's on sale. Everyone has it. I must have it or I will be incomplete. We know that monster. We've all seen that monster. That monster, like the snobs, is not allowed to play in my sandbox. Bye. Bye-bye. This brings me to the topic of subscription boxes and viral marketing. In recent years, the brand Arteza, yes, I'm calling someone out. Gasp. Anyway, the brand Arteza sprang up from the bowels of hell and they went on a marketing blitz. Their products were everywhere and their quality was not great. I'm just going to say it. They were not great. Their paper, fine. Their paper is okay, but their paint products, no ma'am. The watercolor, the gouache, the acrylic, all of them were firmly student grade. Lower student grade at that. There was also a brand of gouache that was actually recommended to me quite a bit called is it Hime? If you probably know what I'm talking about. It was god-awful. People were touting it for being a large amount of gouache for very little money, and that speaks for itself. A classic case of quantity over quality. Low prices and a viral presence are seductive, but don't fall for it. My heathens. You are all smarter than that. As for subscription boxes, well, I purchased a couple of those years ago and did a cost comparison. The products in the box ended up being more expensive than purchasing the products individually. And furthermore, I did not use everything in the box. The clutter accumulated very quickly, and I ended up giving away the products. Most of them. I actually kept one bottle of ink, but everything else, gone. Did I make any discoveries? Nope, not a one. The products provided by these subscription boxes were actually pretty basic. If these subscription boxes offered innovative, difficult to acquire, or other such limited edition supplies, my God, I would be all over it. I would be fully behind these services and I would resubscribe probably. But that was never the case. I don't want charcoal. I don't want colored pencils. I don't want cheap pens. I don't want markers in colors that I can get for free as samples from art stores. It's dumb. It's dumb. Don't spend your money on products that are pushed by viral marketing campaigns or subscription boxes. Instead, why not use the supplies you already have and then use that leftover money to purchase better quality paper and substrates. Here's a hot tip. Crappy watercolors and pens look better on good paper. A stronger foundation, in this case paper or other surfaces, is far more important than what you put on top of it. Let me put it to you this way. Let's play hypothetical make-believe for a minute. All right, so we're going into our art supplies. Grab a sheet of good quality Bristol board, professional grade. Now move on over to your other shelf and grab a sheet of white construction paper. You know, construction paper, the stuff for children. Now reach over to your pen box, pencil case, whatever, and grab a basic, classic yellow Dixon Ticonderoga pencil, which, by the way, are my favorite. They work the best, and they smell fabulous when you sharpen them. Okay, so now you have your 2 sheets of paper, your pencil. Now sit down and draw the exact same thing on both papers. Which paper is going to yield the best result? You get 3 seconds to answer. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Exactly, the Bristol. The Bristol is going to look better. Now, unless you are going for a purposely smudgy, dingy look, the Bristol wins hands down. Am I making sense? Your foundation is more important than what goes on top of it. So put your resources into improving the most basic elements of your art practice. Now, if you can afford better things, great. Get the better paper and get the better paints or watercolors or inks or whatever it is. But if you cannot, this is what I would recommend. Spend more on the paper. Already have a lot of paper? Fine. You can use that money to purchase items that will inspire you. A bouquet of flowers every couple of weeks to brighten your dreary, windowless art space. Purchase some artwork or prints or stickers from your favorite artists that resonate with you. Hell, treat yourself to a fancy coffee and dessert a few times a week while you're working. All of these things will make you feel exponentially better about yourself, your life, and your work. I promise you, hoarding is going to do nothing for you but frustrate you. Buying more crap that you're going to store and that is going to collect dust that you are rarely going to use is not going to add any value to your life. I promise. And that is going to do it for today's little chit chat, my nasties. I hope that you are all doing as well as possible during these horrific times. Just everything. We're all just swimming around in a giant cesspool these days. But I hope you're doing as well as can be. Look down below. Everything you need to know will be down below. Links to where you can find me online. Links to my Etsy shop and all of that other good stuff. I will see you guys again in the next one.